Hello and welcome to Pakistan TV's News at 7. My name is Naila Shuja. Let's take a look at the top headlines. Pakistan's law enforcement agencies uncover an Indian espionage network, arresting fisherman Ijaz Mullah for being recruited by the Indian intelligence to carry out subversive activities inside the country. Information Minister Ataullah Tar makes it clear that the armed forces and intelligence agencies are fully vigilant, alert, and equipped, as well as ready to thwart any eventuality. Says India has resorted to massive misinformation campaigns against Pakistan after facing worst failure in Operation Sindoor. Pakistan and the Afghan Taliban regime are scheduled to hold a follow-up meeting on the 6th of November to finalize the details of their ongoing truce, followed by renewed peace talks in Istanbul. Israeli military continues attacks on Gaza for a fifth day, killing at least 5 people in another test of the fragile U.S.-brokered ceasefire. Pakistan will face South Africa tonight in the series-deciding third ICC T20 International at Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore. The series is leveled at 1-1 after Pakistan defeated South Africa by 9 wickets in the second match. Now, viewers, those were the top headlines at the news at 7. Now, carrying forward, as we are well aware, Pakistani fisherman was arrested and coerced by the Indian intelligence to perform tasks, as per the information minister disclosed during a media briefing today. Now, the details were basically where Information Minister Ataullah Tar, as well as Dalal Chaudhry, who is the Minister of State for Interior, was present at the conference here in Islamabad, all to discuss the alleged coercion of a Pakistani fisherman by the Indian intelligence. Now, the fisherman's name was Ijaz Mullah from Shah Bandar in Thatta district, Sindh. He was a fisherman by profession, and he was arrested by the Indian Coast Guard while fishing in September 2025. He was detained at an undisclosed location and coerced to carry out tasks for Indian intelligence to avoid 2 to 3 years of imprisonment. He was released with orders to procure Pakistani military uniforms and other items. Now, the tasks that were by the Indian agency were primarily to obtain those uniforms of the Pakistan Navy, the Pakistan Army, and the Sindh Rangers. But for more on this, we're joined by senior analyst here at Pakistan TV, Farrukh Batafi. Now, Farrukh, very informative news that has come to light, and this is basically after the humiliating failure of India's so-called Operation Sindoor. Now, that being said, what does this incident truly reveal about India's multi-timed proven espionage strategy against Pakistan?
Right. Thank you very much, Naila, for this question and the opportunity. I think that it is important to understand that India and Indian society are going through a flux, particularly under this government. So, what they actually see when it comes to neighborhood is only an opportunity to colonize and to destroy as much as possible. This is something that has continued. Today's news actually shows why would you actually need any kind of uniform of a foreign country? Because you want to go for a false flag operation. You want to use all that against Pakistan to frame Pakistan once again to restore the India's status as a victim that they have been actually selling in the past 20 years despite not losing anything substantial. This also shows that Pakistani law enforcement agencies are awake and they are constantly vigilant and they're taking care of all these incursions that might have taken place in Pakistan. You have to understand the Indian government's point of view It comes from a very different point of view from yours or mine. They are essentially, the card carrying representative of Manu Samarthi, which actually does not see all human beings as equals. So they essentially have bought this idea that they have to be cruel and it's okay to be cruel. That's why a country like India is becoming part of the problem, and no matter what they do, whatever kind of false flag operations they go for, I'm sure that it will be exposed, and the world will see India and Indian government for the bully and the destabilizing force it is.
All right, so for more on this, we're also joined by Brigadier Retired Haris Nawaz, who is a defense analyst. Again, thank you so much for speaking to Pakistan TV. Now, again, Mr. Patafi just recently mentioned that, maybe these procurement of items such as the uniforms or the name tags or these measurements could have, or rather the currency, the Zong SIM cards, the cigarette boxes or the matches were primarily going to be used for false flag operations. Understanding this, can you provide your analysis to the situation?
You see, they always, whenever there is some election in India going on, they try to go for any false flag operation or state drama. From 6th of November to 11th of November, they are having a Bihar elections. And this is the right time to create a false flag operation. I think we must appreciate Pakistan intelligence agencies that they have nabbed that individual and it was all dropped that idea, whatever they wanted to do it. But just look at them, how low level they go. And then they are professionally so untrained, they don't know how to carry out even intelligence operations. I mean, if one individual just crosses the sea lines by mistake, you apprehend him, then you threat him, give him a threat, and then you give 90,000 rupees, they go, okay, go and start working for us. And they force them to go and buy certain uniform, Navy, Rangers, nameplates, and so many other items, along with the 3, 4 sims of Zong because they want to malign China also. And then appreciate the way only one individual was involved and he was apprehended by our security agency. So this is a credit. That's how we professional our intelligence are. And then they kept surveilling him. And by the time when he got everything collected, he sat in the boat. When he was about to cross our sea lines, borderline, that is the time they nabbed him and they brought him. And then he told each and every their audio cassettes, what do they wanted to have it. Actually, Ran of Kutch and Bhoj, they are very close to the Pakistan Indian in the southern side, so the creek area, where Indians are having an exercise, naval exercise they are having, and they are showing big interest in that area. And the naval command chief has also said that they are doing exercise that one day might they convert into an operation towards our side. But they are sadly mistaken. They don't know that we have taken all punitive actions, all condition mandates. It is land, air, or sea. We are not slipping. And we have told them, the ISPR, we are going to take them, really bleed them like anything. It was 10% last time we did. And it can be 50, 60% if we go into the deep enemy target, particularly Calcutta and eastern side. We are going to hit them very badly on the economic side and militarily. They don't understand when your military is untrained, unprofessional, you can't do anything about it. And we have shown the world that you are the more irresponsible and immature nuclear state. On the false flag operation of Pahalgam, you attacked another neighboring nuclear state without realizing the consequences and the catastrophic effects if those could have gone if the war was prolonged. They don't realize, and then we've sorted them out there. Then there's Operation Duri there. Then they put the Petron Kharij, Petron Hindustan. There they failed, and now they wanted to do another milestone with showing that Pakistan has sent some this terrorists, and they've been caught in naval stress and danger stress. And on that pretext, they wanted to go for false flag repression toward Pakistan and diverting the mind of their Indian people for Bihar election. This is their short-sightedness. We never bother about it. Whenever we have election, have you ever talked about Indians, what they're doing it? They go for Pahalgam, they go for Balakot, then they want to go for Uri, Pathankot, everywhere they were staged and then they exposed. And every day they're highly embarrassed. Now the whole world knows what they are doing. And I think now is the time Pakistan must tell the all ambassadors in Islamabad what India is doing with facts and figures because they can then pass on this information to their respective country. And also we must talk about Islam OIC countries. We can talk to Americans because now our status is very high. Everybody listen to us because we have earned our respect. Field Marshal Assembly, the way he planned, executed this Marka hack, and we played hell with Indian, and they really went running to Trump, please go for de-escalation. So now we are the regional stabilizer. That's what I'm saying. Now is the time Pakistan has to go and talk to Americans that they must put reins on these stupid activities. They can't do anything, but now they're doing the proxies and then they want to go for the regulation, which is absolutely wrong. And now they will fully exposed as well.
Absolutely. Very well said. And now, Mr. Batafi, I want to come back to you and just circle regarding the fact that, Pakistan's response has basically been the agencies have monitored Mullah's activities upon his return as well. And they caught he was caught while heading to the Indian side with the requested items. And the evidence that Pakistan has presented was basically photos and video clips of these recovered items, as well as the audio recording of the conversation with the alleged Indian handler. These are huge information of a huge box of evidence basically that has been recovered, and not to mention the video confession by Mullah himself. Now there was a recorded of transaction of 95,000 rupees as well between Mullah and the Indian officials. But now coming back to this, I want to understand a little bit more about how this reflects on India's increasing reliance on the civilian coercion, not as well that, but hybrid tactics in intelligence gathering.
Right. Once again, thank you very much. This is a brilliant question, and one should be actually paying more attention to questions like these because at this moment, when you look at how India has been behaving, it is clear that India has been trying to go for this bully mode since Narendra Modi came to power. It has actually gone on to kill a Canadian citizen. It has tried to assassinate an American citizen. It has gone on to try to kill other people in other countries that might not even be reporting. Their diplomatic staff was expelled after being declared persona non grata from Australia also. Similarly, their activities continue. There is a nexus between Modi government and the intelligence agencies under Modi government and crime rings. For example, a Bishnoi gang is a known criminal group which was used in intelligence operations or assassination attempts in America, and that is well known. Now, the guy who is at the top of that organization is in prison, but he is taken good care of because India's interior minister is personally supporting him. So you can see that there is this criminal intelligence, business, and political nexus in India's society and India's government. But then you have to actually go back to why they would do such a thing and why they would feel so emboldened to carry out such a thing. And again, I will have to go back to their own society and the kind of churn that is there. Because right now, the rulers in India are essentially those who actually represent the elite capture, the Brahman Raj or the forward caste Raj. If you want to see how cruel they can be, just do one thing. Go to Google and Google the word Dalit and look at hit their news tab. You will see that in past 24-48 hours, the crimes against Dalits alone, their own citizens, have been incredible. Somebody has been raped, somebody has been forced to clean toilets, somebody has been peed on. So, with that kind of state of affairs, remember in that pecking order, in that unequal worldview, the Muslims, Christians, and other minorities are come after Dalits. Dalits, they don't actually consider human beings. So we are also considered that way. And once Operation Sindoor was pushed back, and they had the consequences. They haven't been able to come to terms with the idea that a country like Pakistan can give them such a befitting response, job-breaking response. So right now they are trying to, A, they are getting desperate. B, they are also trying to use everything to settle the score within their society. So right now, their aggressive posture is proving to the world that India has become part of the problem, not the solution. And that is a very fortuitous moment because Pakistan now can certainly be seen as part of the solutions. And that's why the world actually keeps praising Pakistan. And Indian media, Indian intelligence, India government cannot even tolerate that.
Absolutely. Very well said, Mr. Patafi. Just referencing to, Brigadier Haris Nawaz, with your expertise with the military and being a defense analyst, there is something that I would like to understand. How does this situation compare to Kulbhushan Yadav's case?
You see, the point is, I personally think I very strongly feel that this is a clear example that Indians can go how much deep level, low level, and they operate. They send a serving naval commander, Mr. Yadev. He came and then he was apprehended and then he was given a life imprisonment and the ICJ case was there. I strongly feel this is the right time for the government of Pakistan to open his case, finalize this, execute him, and send his body back to India. Let them have the public of India, the wife of the individual, and the parents should know what India has been doing, and that's what they will have another repercussion of that. We are not pushed; they can't do anything about it. It's enough. I think we have to give them in the same coin. We have suffered a lot, but the way you see, the Indians just planned one Pahalgam operation, false flag, stage drama, without investigation, without inquiry, they attacked another nuclear country and not realizing the consequences. So we have all concrete proof what Jadev was doing here, what this Mr. Ijaz, how he was launched this much, the fishermen, then what the Fitna Kharij, Fitna Hindustan, what India is doing with them and Afghanistan. So we have to now create a hue and cry. When Pakistan has a very high stature, the world and particularly President Trump always plays a film master, Yasin Munir. So we have to tell them what India is doing it. And then what all right we have to reserve to react. That's very important. If they can come and attack for us, at least we should do something extra. At least on the Fitul Kharaj and Fitul Hindustan, we can do in Afghanistan to return them in the same coin. And we can ask American to put the reins on Indians. They have to be told not to destabilize Pakistan. Otherwise, the way after this escalation, and Mr. Trump said, I'll put 250% tariffs on you if you don't stop fighting to the Indians. Likewise, now I should say, if you again go and do anything terrorism in Pakistan, cross-border terrorism, we'll put some sanctions on you. So this is the way we have to do it. And of course, we have to take confidence. China and Iran is a stakeholder. We have to work out together strategy, and we have to ensure cross-border terrorism must stop. Only then we can have a good foreign investment. No investor will come unless his life and property is safe. Business-friendly environments are there. That's what I'm saying. And Gulbhushan Yadav, I am convinced, must be his body bag must be sent to India to give them a lesson that Pakistan is a very resilient com. We are not pushed. He came, he was a spy, and the spy got the punishment which he deserved.
Absolutely, a very hard stance by Brigadier Retired Haris Nawaz. Again, now, gentlemen, it is absolutely after the humiliating failure of India's so-called Operation Sindoor that New Delhi truly once again resorted to this desperate and malicious tactic to malign Pakistan. But now, gentlemen, I want to switch over to our next topic of conversation, which is basically the Turkham border, which has been reopened after 20 days of closure for the repatriation of the Afghan refugees. These are undocumented Afghan refugees who resided in Pakistan who are being sent back in a very dignified way to their home country. The closed trade for they have closed the border for the trade and and pedestrian movement, as per the Khyber Deputy Commissioner Bilal Shahid stated, and previously stated that on the 11th of October, due to the border clashes, it was halted. Now, on the 19th of October, we are well aware that a conversation was held in Doha regarding the ceasefire for a brokered, which was by Doha and Turkey, who participated as third-party negotiators and mediators, and basically Pakistan sealed the borders for the trade and travel. Now, furthermore, as per the authorities completed these formalities, they have been permitted home in a dignified way. 6 days of talks in Turkey, as per the Foreign Ministry of Turkey, stated that both parties have agreed to uphold the ceasefire, but further modalities of the implementation are set to be decided on the 6th of November 2025 in Istanbul. Now, the Foreign Office spokesperson, Mr. Andrabi, stated that Pakistan does not want further tensions with the Taliban regime and has repeatedly provided evidence stating that the terrorist organizations that are operating from Afghan soil, Fitna al-Kharij, Fitna al-Hindustan, are operating from Afghan soil and trying to create this cross-border terrorism that is there and extremely evident. Now, again, I want to switch over to Brigadier Haris Nawaz. Understanding the situation at hand, it is a catastrophic situation for the people that are involved, especially in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan. But, you know, Pakistan has faced over 1,500 cross-border attacks since 2021, as provided by the NGU Pakistan in 2024. And now these cross-border attacks have basically originated from Afghan soil, as we are well aware. So how can Islamabad ensure that the new ceasefire verification mechanism is actually enforceable under this Taliban regime's fragmented command structure?
You see, the point is Pakistan has made it very clear, and it's only one point agenda, and that we are very firm on that. There is no compromise on that. And that is that we have told them Pakistan will no longer tolerate any cross-border terrorism from Afghanistan side towards Pakistan. And it is zero tolerance. We have been done so many times, we've told them, we told and give them all compromises. We compromised, we suffered so many of casualties of our troops, then our civilians, but they are not realizing it. And I'm very happy this time Pakistan had a very strong, firm stand, and still finally they have agreed to it and they accepted. And the day on 6th of November, they signed, or after 2 or 3 days, they signed this agreement. That means, one, it will prove that they were wrong, Afghan Taliban regime, that the Khawarijis and, of course, Fitna Khawarij and Fitna Hindustan, they were not there. They are there, and they were operating from there. There is no doubt that Pakistan gave very concrete proof to the mediators like Turkey and Qatar, and they all accepted. Even in conversation, even the Afghan Taliban regime also, delegation, they also accepted. But then they get information from Afghanistan, from Kabul, and then they change their stance. But this time, they have realized, I think, that they have to maintain the best relationship with Pakistan, because only then they can draw benefit. We give them logistics, we give them command transit, we give them sugar, then wheat, then we give them fertilizer, everything we give them. And we demand only one thing: don't let your land be utilized by any other organization. But this time, I think Pakistan has took very strong stance. And along with that, this time we have told them, and also it should be written in the document as well, in case Afghan Taliban can't fulfill their agreement, then what next? Of course, the immediate said they're going to put some penalties on the country. Along with, we should get them written also that then Pakistan will have a right to strike into the Afghan territory. Like we go for the surgical strikes or we go for drone strike. And we must dismantle their all training camps, all ADAM camps, and along with that, their commanders who are hiding in Afghanistan. Because if we kill the commanders, the half job is done. But this has to be done because a new normal what Pakistan established, now anybody looking towards Pakistan, we are going to be very destructive, very decisive, very swift, and no compromise. And that is what Pakistan maintained. And I'm very happy that now even mediators and Afghan Taliban have understood. Now, I think there is a problem with Indians. They're very upset what the stance they have changed of Afghan Taliban. And we hope also And now, finally, Afghan Taliban have understood. But then another thing more important is we are not against Afghan people. We know they've suffered a lot. We don't want to add their miseries. That is why we are trying our best to go and give a chance to peace. Otherwise, if we can sort out such a big force of Indians, then Afghan Taliban are nothing. We can really create a lot of problems for them. But we don't, because we know the Afghan people are going to suffer. It is now the responsibility of Afghan people to bring a change. If Afghan Taliban are not pushed for Afghan people, then you should go and change for democratic way, bring a government of your own choice, those who should be able to work it, because till now they have not established even one diplomatic relation with the entire world. They're out of coordination. Even Indians don't have established their diplomatic relations. So just imagine how they're living. It will never work. It has to be a democratic process. Then new government comes, they sit down and they work for the entire Afghanistan.
Absolutely. Very well said, Brigadier Haris Nawaz. Now, switch over to Mr. Patafi. We've recently had a statement by Defense Minister Khwaja Asif, who recently stated that India wanted to keep Pakistan busy and engaged on the eastern and western fronts amid these tensions with Kabul and New Delhi. Now, understanding this, could you help us really understand the nitty-gritties of this perspective?
Right. Thank you very much, Naila, once again. Regarding, India's influence, we are going to get to that. But before that, I wanted to say something which is very important to be mentioned here. And that is Pakistan cannot express its gratitude enough for the support of Qatar and also the support of our Turkish brothers and sisters. I think that they have stood by Pakistan in this situation. Had they not been putting the high pressure on Afghan Taliban, they seem to be walking away, or they wanted to deflect attention from real issues because they might see some benefit out of that. Now, let us get to what benefits there might be. You have to remember that one organization that was seen as one of the biggest challenges to civilization for 20 years when Afghanistan was being ruled by ISF. At that time, Afghan Taliban was synonymous with the terrorism. So that organization comes to power. And then what happens? Then all of a sudden, because of that organization coming to power, there are sanctions all around. They don't have monies. So what exactly are they going to do? They are either going to extort you, they are going to ask for money to ensure that there's peace in your land, and they don't allow any organization to use their land against you. If they don't get the kind of money they are asking, then they go to the highest bidder who is going to destabilize your country. So in this case, the highest bidder is India. And India keeps on wanting to destabilize Pakistan. You have seen the kind of chicken hearted, adult brained attitude they have got. If you don't understand this, you just have to switch on an Indian channel and listen to their most established voices speaking against Pakistan. And by the way, if you want to see what they're doing now, you have to listen to their commentary on Afghanistan as well. All of a sudden, their transformation is so complete that they seem to be, dying for to normalize Afghan Taliban. So, in this state of affairs, India's attitude is known. Afghan Taliban, because of their own vulnerabilities, and this has been a structural flaw in Pakistan Afghan relationship, that whosoever comes to power in Afghanistan, they are always going to inhabit a war economy. And because they don't have the kind of money that are needed, they are going to actually go for any person who has the will and the money. And this is something that Ajit Doval has repeatedly said. Ajit Doval is India's national security advisor, Modi's national security advisor for 11 years. And he says that these people can be bought with, whatever money they might be getting from elsewhere. If you double the amount, you can get their sympathies, their support. So right now, what has happened is that India is trying utmost to, use Afghanistan to put pressure on Pakistan. But on the other side, because we have so many good friends, and excuse me, I am so proud of our relationship with Qatar and with Turkey. Because of that support, it has been ensured that Afghanistan does not fall into that pit again. Remember that we don't have anything against Afghan people. They are our brothers. They are equal part victims of what Taliban have been doing. They never had a voice in bringing them to power. So we are with Afghanistan, but we are critical of what Afghan Taliban is doing. And if they don't come to their senses, they will be brought to senses.
Absolutely. Very fine points that you've stated, Mr. Patafi. Again, these were the fine gentlemen who were speaking on the Turkham and Chaman borders, which have reopened for the Afghan refugees to return to their home country. The borders are open for returning the refugees only, while they will remain closed for trade, pedestrian movement, and traffic. You know, there is another point of element that I would like to mention or reiterate regarding this fact is basically that, Brigadier Haris, we have been fully aware, cognizant of the facts that, countless of times, multiple occasions, Pakistan has presented evidence not just to the regional countries, but to the international community itself regarding the evidence of Fitna al-Kharij, TTP, and its affiliates, which are operating freely in Afghanistan and are using its soil to create terrorism on Pakistan and Pakistanis. So how can Pakistan truly push for a joint counter-terrorism mechanism without legitimizing these groups or giving space to the hostile Indian influence?
I think now if we go and sign any agreement, then there should be joint mechanisms along the border also, consisting of Pakistan and Afghan government, and we have to monitor it that no one is crossing here, and all TTP elements who are parties are on that side. Now they have to be either pushed away from the border, or actually we want to see also one thing. If this 6 7 days of up to 6th November is the litmus test of Afghan Taliban regime. If there is during this period there is no cross-border terrorism, and there is no Kharji and no Fitna Hindustan, they cross from this side and this border remains peaceful. That means they are serious to have a proper written agreement. One. And second, of course, we have to ensure that they carry out some dismantling of their training camps, they dismantle their administrative camps, they prosecute the leadership of the TTP and Daesh and these individuals who have been doing all criminal activity. Then we will realize that really Afghan Taliban's regime is working and they're serious to implement those instructions which we carried after 6th of November. So this is very important. Second, let me tell you, this Afghan refugee, these are a big pain. I was a home minister of Sindh, and we also pushed during our time about 1.5 year back. We all from Pakistan sent about 6 7 lakhs. They went out because they are the right breeding places. They get all the facilitation. They get the target acquisition. They carry a lot of criminal activities. They do all narcotics selling is being done. So they have to go where because Afghan Pakistan of Pashtuns are Pakistani Pashtuns, and Afghan Pashtun. So they Afghan Pashtun have to go back. They are the national Afghan nationals. They're the foreigners, and we looked after them anything because we wanted when they crossed the border, they carried good memories of Pakistan. Along with also we give them one luxury that if they are without any legal documents, they can go back and then come get a visa and
Absolutely.
then come back to Pakistan. And then I think you
Absolutely.
can sell out your property and everything.
Absolutely. Very well said, Brigadier Haris Nawaz, defense analyst, speaking to Pakistan TV, and as well as Farooq Batafi, analyst in-house. Again, it was a very insightful conversation that we just had regarding the Afghan repatriation and the current talks, or rather the upcoming talks as well, that are going to be held in Istanbul. Now, it is also imperative that we truly understand that Pakistan has stressed on multiple times and occasions that it does not wish to escalate tensions with Afghanistan, and it still remains hopeful for a positive outcome, and that was said by the Foreign Office spokesperson Tahir Andrabi, who stated this on Friday at a press briefing. And he basically stated that Pakistan's participation, in the Istanbul talks, which started on the 25th of October, in a good spirit and a positive intention. But again, these are the conversations that are being held in Istanbul at the moment. And the thing is that Afghanistan, Taliban really need to understand the implications of regional geopolitics at hand and how this actually affects them as well. Now, again, we're moving towards our last segment of the evening here at News at 7. We are joined by a very wonderful guest, and it is highly appreciated that he took the time out. But I want to introduce our topic first just now before I do that, and that is the fact that Israeli military has attacked the Gaza Strip for a fifth day, killing at least 5 people in another test of fragile U.S. brokered ceasefire. The Red Cross basically says that it transferred the unidentified bodies of 3 people to Israel after they were handed over by Hamas. The Gaza residents say that they fear a return to Israel's full-scale bombing as they struggle to find food, water, and medicine during the U.S. brokered truce. Now, Israel's war on Gaza has killed at least 68,858 people and has wounded more than 170,664 since it began in October 2023. Now, again, the wonderful guest that I am speaking about is none other than His Excellency Dr. Zuhair Zaid, Palestinian ambassador to Pakistan. Thank you so much for speaking to Pakistan TV News at 7. Mr. Ambassador, again, this situation is absolutely insane. The genocide must stop, and Israel has violated the ceasefire agreement once again. That being said, Mr. Ambassador, just understanding this, despite the U.S. brokered ceasefire, Israel has continued its genocide and strikes on the Palestinians and in Gaza. How credible is this ceasefire? How credible can it be when the violation occurs just within days? And what guarantees are needed to make it truly enforceable?
Thank you for having me and giving me this opportunity to explain what's going on. Israel should stop its atrocities. It's what they did is a real genocide. They make Gaza as an impossible place for living for the people. What they are doing in the West Bank also, they are doing the same, where their extreme settlers burning the houses, burning the farms, burning all properties for our people in the West Bank, closing the villages in front of the people, preventing them from free movement. The situation is really catastrophic. It's the time for the international community to take action. It's not accepted to push toward what we had before 7th of October. They stopped this war, this genocide. They should keep this. They should take action to stop the Israeli aggression against our people. The Palestinians from their side had been committed to apply and to implement all the conditions that had been mentioned in the Trump initiative, with all the Arab and Muslim mediators whom take on their side the responsibility to try to apply this initiative. So it's very important from the American side to take action. The committee that they launched and they initiate and create there inside Israel to follow up what's going on should start to do something at least to report about who is violating the ceasefire. And Israel all the time trying to find allegations to do so, because still this government has its own plan to chase out our people from their land, to end the Palestinian issue, and to continue their way to confiscate and control more lands.
Absolutely, Ambassador. Understanding this, that the Israeli troops have advanced to eliminate the Palestinians, but we've had this statement from UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, and he calls it appalling and called on Israel to comply with the international humanitarian law. But clearly, they are oblivious to it. They just don't understand. I don't understand if they know how to read or if they cannot comprehend, but this continuous violation must stop. Now, that being said, this resumption of Israel's military action while the Palestinians are basically struggling for food, water, and medical aid, as you have just said, what monitoring or verification mechanisms do you believe are truly necessary to prevent this humanitarian abuse during such a truce?
As you mentioned regarding the position for human rights groups, and also I want to indicate here the ICJ report regarding the responsibility of Israel to give all the international organizations to practice their rule in Gaza Strip and to supply the Palestinian people their needs. This is what the ICJ had been reported. Now, again, the matter here, how Israel should apply those resolutions and the needed thing, it's depend on the international community to impose this on Israel. When Israel continue to have this support and this immunity from the support that they have, especially from the United States, they will continue their aggression against the Palestinians. So the point here is very clear. United States and all the international communities should take action. They can impose in Israel, and Israel will never do anything without coordination, full coordination with the United States. So in my point of view, United States can do and can impose in Israel to stop its aggression. And everyone knows that at the end, Israel as a state has the abilities and has all the military instruments that they already demolished Gaza. So international community should take action.
Absolutely. Ambassador Zaid, we've also understood that the foreign ministers from several Arab and Muslim nations will be gathering in Istanbul on Monday to discuss the steps for Gaza's precarious ceasefire. Expected are Qatar, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the UAE, Jordan, Pakistan, and Indonesia. What are some objectives that maybe we can expect from this?
The Arab League, the OIC summit, the decisions that had been taken from their side has contributed a lot. This unity that the Muslim world has expressed and their support that they give and the leading of Saudi Arabia with the support of many other brotherly countries had really influenced the world in general and especially United States. And this is what led to the change. Now, after the ceasefire, it was very clear through the conference in New York and all the annexes that had been clear put the plan for the future. It means to reach a comprehensive peace and to end this struggle. This will add more toward achieving the peace. It means after ceasefire, we should rebuild Gaza. After ceasefire, we should be ensured that security will be in Gaza. The Palestinian Authority should go back and implement their authority there in Gaza. The state of Palestine should have the right to practice its sovereignty on this part of our homeland, Gaza Strip. This is the matters that all Arab and Muslims are leading and supporting us to achieve all together, giving training, giving aid, giving also economic support, political support. What's going on in general with this active rule that all the Arab and Muslim countries doing, leading for
Absolutely.
positive things for us.
Absolutely. Ambassador, there is one thing that just really has been itching in my mind regarding this whole situation. And we've seen the videos, we've seen the footages, be it on social media or on television. We've seen it everywhere. The rescue workers in Gaza have been describing, very emotional and physical devastation. Women and children have lost their homes, men have lost their lives, and many those who are struggling to find some sort of shelters, to find some sort of solace during this most difficult time, this genocide that is being carried forward by Israel and its military forces. Many of the Palestinians are fearing this return of Israeli bombing at any moment, like the shoe could drop at any second. What steps should the international community take to protect the civilians and the emergency responders in Palestine?
The international community, the international organization know very well their role. Who's disturbing all the time is the Israeli side, and highlighting allegation which is in general false. People there in Gaza needs everything. They need water, they need medicine, they need shelter, they need everything there in Gaza. And it's the time, especially after winter, which will start this month there, the life will be really so difficult for them. And the people had already woken up and looking around, and they saw what they lost from their beloved people, to their houses, to their many things that they lost in their life. So now it's again where the international community should take action. How this will happen, I do not think that denying Israel, asking Israel to apply or whatever will achieve something. Active steps should be taken. Active steps, and this will not happen without United States a clear position. If they can do this, everything will go smoothly and we will reach together. And this is our hope, this is our wish, that we want to end this struggle and to have
Absolutely.
our rights as a Palestinians, to have the independent state for us with East Jerusalem as its capital.
Absolutely.
This is what we want.
Absolutely, Ambassador. His Excellency Dr. Zaher Zaid, Palestinian ambassador to Pakistan, was sharing the details and explaining to us the the genocide that is being carried out by the Israeli military and which has attacked the Gaza Strip for the 5th day, killing at least 5 people in another test of the fragile U.S. brokered ceasefire. Ambassador, I would like to appreciate you for taking the time out regarding Pakistan TV's News at 7, and we appreciate you for sharing this information with us. And as Pakistan, you know this, but I have to say this as well. Pakistanis stand with the people of Palestine. We are with them and we support them. And most importantly, Pakistan has recently stated on Wednesday that the immediate cessation of the Gaza ceasefire violations by Israel after the latter strike on the Palestinian people have killed more than 100 people, and Pakistan will continue to stand with the people of Palestine. Thank you so much for joining us, Ambassador Zohair Zaid. He's the ambassador of Palestine to Pakistan. Now, viewers, that actually is the end of the conversation that we are having here at News at 7. Again, we discussed very important topics today, which starting from the situation regarding the espionage, where the information minister provided valuable evidence to the entire community, not just Pakistan, but the international community as well, regarding the fisherman that was captured by the Indian intelligence agency. Then we spoke about the Afghan repatriation, as well as the upcoming talks which will take place on the 6th of November, as well as last but never the least, always in our hearts forever, the Gaza ceasefire credibility issue, that we were joined by the Palestinian ambassador to Pakistan as well. Now, viewers, that actually concludes the end of the news segment for now, but thank you so much for tuning in to Pakistan TV. Have a wonderful day.